There's just this like majestic piece about the cheetah.
They were like nothing I'd ever seen.
There's more wonder in them, and there's more curiosity in them.
What does it take to raise a cheetah? Your whole life. Come on, little girl. There you go. Oh, you're such a good animal. Unbelievably or not, I was on my own. I transported these animals to school in a Chevette. Angel would get in first because she wanted to sit in the back. My mountain lion would get in the seat beside me, and my son would sit in the back on the other side, and everybody glared at everybody. But that's how this started. Literally a seat of the pants. Nobody paid any attention to me. I think the zoo pretended this didn't exist.
Catherine Hilker founded the Cincinnati Zoo's Cat Ambassador program in 1980. She was 49 at the time. Her goal? To educate and inspire others to care about cheetahs. So far, the ambassadors have raised $1 million for conservation efforts in Africa, and the program now reaches 150,000 people each year. It works like this. Trainers hand-raise cheetahs to be comfortable around humans so the animals can make public appearances. There have been a dozen ambassadors through the years. Today they are training a young male for the role. They call him Donni.
Cheetahs, when they only have one young, won't raise that one young. That's when the humans kind of have to take over and say, well, we're going to raise this cat ourselves. There's so few cheetahs in the world, really, that every single individual is valuable. So Donni came to us from the wildlife safari in Winston, Oregon.
Since he was being hand-raised already, they brought him here and we could put him in with the baby cheetahs.
The other cubs had such a rough start to their little lives that Donni just looked massive. We just thought he would look so big compared to them. And because the other cubs couldn't be his playmate, we found that the best substitution is a dog. And that's when Moose comes into play. I always wonder if Donni thinks that poor cheetah has no spots and it's so ugly, or if Moose thinks you're the weirdest dog I've ever met to Donni. And I don't think it matters for them to be successful.
This is Donni, a cheetah cub.
That's right, 4 months old.
Wow.
He's up with the cheetah show. When folks go, sometimes he makes an appearance, but he's just learning. He's learning to be out on a leash, and frankly, this is his debut.
He's very bold. He's not really scared of anything, and that makes a great animal to be able to do programs with.
Looking fabulous, and Donni, thank you.
I'll just start by saying 7 months old. So you might see him do goofy things like that. He's still learning the rules of being an ambassador.
Cheetah sits on a table. That's all they do. I mean, they don't have to do anything. We don't do tricks. Everybody wants to know, what tricks do you do? This is it. They're just beautiful. They're beautiful to look at.
Hi. You guys can hear him purring, right? We like to purr. They make the better ambassador cats. So that's what Donni is. He'll do this his whole life as long as he's interested in doing it. If he doesn't want to do it, we're not going to push him to do it because we want it to be a positive experience for him.
When my cats would walk into a school, especially cheetahs, because their toenails click on the floor when they walk, and the children become totally silent. And then you hear, oh,
You know, not many times in your life do you get to stand 15 feet away from a full-grown cat. And a lot of it is that proximity. When you're that close to the animal, you can hear them purr.
Affects you so dramatically different from the pages of a book.
I think that's the power of the ambassador program.
Once you hand raise a cat, now you have a responsibility to that animal.
You give them a huge part of your life. It takes everything you are, everything you believe, and it does not stop.
But you see the product. You see the product in the previous animals, and you know that the work is worth it.
After all the work we've done, they're still disappearing, and it just breaks my heart.
You know, we always used to say there's like 12 to 15,000 cheetahs, and now we're learning that it's half that.
Most of the decline of the cheetah is due to man. I mean, it's not due to natural things, it's due to us.
And that's really tough. It's really tough to process, you know, this decline that's occurring, and we don't want to focus on that. We want to focus on the positive things that are happening. Catherine once told me that she read in a book when she was a child that cheetahs would be extinct in the year 2010. And that time is here and gone, and cheetahs are still around.
So by education is the only thing that is going to change the decline of the cheetah. And if we don't educate people, then yeah, we will lose them all.
Every time I think, like, why are we doing this? Like, what's the value of having a cheetah in this particular space where it feels like it has nothing to do with conservation? I'm proven wrong every single time. School principals that will say, I brought you guys to our school because I saw it as a kid when Catherine Hilker presented it. Wanting to do something that makes a difference for the world. She's given us, all of us cat trainers, the outlet to be able to do that, to say, I know that what I do on a daily basis makes a direct impact. Everything that she's built to say, like, I have a sense of purpose here. I don't know how many people say that in their job.
I talked to Jane Goodall one time, and I said, Jane, do you realize how ridiculous this is? And I said, Jane, what do you see happening? I said, I've worked my heart out my whole life with these cats. And I started when there were 25 to 30,000. And I said, there's 7 now. Why did I bother? She said, I think that the good we've done will show itself in another generation. She said, I have to believe that, or I couldn't go on.